Antuhu Pitruttamanye Kavishadyaturnam Stambhe Avatarastamanyalabhyam Lakshmi Nrusimham Sharanam Prapache Sriman Venkatanadharya Kavitarkika Kesari Vedantacharya Sannidhattam Sadakudi Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Janma Yashya Yatonmayat Itarah Chardesha Vignaswarate Tene Brahma Hurdaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Murdam Yathavinamayo Yatra Sadlomusha Dhamna Svinasada Nastogam Satyam Param Dhimahi Narayanam Namascha Naranchaiva Narottam Daivim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayam Udirayete Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. He Gopalaka He Krupa Janathe He Sundhu Kanyapade He Kamsantaka He Jendra Karuna Parina He Madhava He Ramanuja He Jagatraya Guru He Pundari Kakshamam He Gopi Jananadha Palaya Param Janami Natvam Vinam. Narayan. Welcome back to the session on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Trying my best to complete as fast as possible or cover as many topics as possible. Today, let us start with the Jada Bharata Upakhyanam. Jada Bharata Upakhyanam in Srimad Bhagavatam. Jada means literally Buddhu, means a retarded person. A retarded person. Something with some kind of an autism. But was he really like that? No way. This is the best example for us about reincarnation. This is the proof for us what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayaha. If not, as Krishna says, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam chadantyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tadbhavadaha. Just to make it very clear, if people are thinking I am doing this puja, that puja, my moksham is guaranteed, absolutely not. Prahlada says, Nalam Dvijattam Devattam na Rushitvam va Suratmajaha. Do not ever think that I'm a Brahmin by birth, so my moksham is automatically guaranteed. Don't think I'm a Devi Devata like Indra, Chandra, Brahma, Rudra, or Ashwini Devatas, or the Ashtavasus, or the Ekadasha Rudras, or the Maruts. Moksham is not guaranteed even for Devatas. Don't think I'm doing some meditation like Maharshis, my moksham is guaranteed. Don't be so sure of it. Other than pure bhakti yoga, doing the upasana of one of the 32 vidyas from the Upanishads, or doing a complete sharanagati, moksham is just impossible. But doing that sharanagati is so easy, but people are afraid to do that. If not moksham, what will happen? To get that moksham by your own efforts, as in Bhakti Marga, you must make sure Antakalecha Mam Eva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. It is not just the lips chanting Krishna, Krishna, or Hari, Hari, Hari. The lips are chanting, but the mind is thinking of something else. Especially at the time of death, you should recollect the Supreme Lord Hari in your mind. Then only salvation. If not, what happens? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam chadan chante kalevaram. Whatever our thoughts focus on last minute, that will be our next birth. Without our knowledge, whatever is there subconsciously in our mind, whatever is there that we are attached, that is the only thought that will come to us in the last minute. If you are attached too much to money, you'll think of only money. If your punya karma is good, who knows, next time you'll be born as a human being, you may become the general manager of Bank of America and keep on looking at money, money, money. If your papa karma is so bad that you think of money and die, oh sure, You'll become a cockroach in the same bank and keep on looking at money, 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 money. Same thing, you are attached so much to a woman. It could be your mother, it could be your daughter, it could be your wife, or it could be your sister. We don't know. If you're attached to a female form, your next birth will be a female form, female. Punya karma is good, female human being. Same thing, if you're attached too much to a person, a man, a masculine one, it could be your husband, your son, your father, your brother. We don't know. If your punya karma is good, next time you're born as a human being, as a male. If your papa karma is so much, we can become a male dog, male cat, male pig, male donkey. Absolutely no difference at all. Whatever thought crosses your mind in the last minute, that will be your next birth. This Bharata originally is a Maharaja, not even an ordinary Maharaja, Rushabhadeva's son. This Rushabhadeva's son, Rushabhadeva is even considered as a Amsha of Lord Srimad Narayana. Such a great Mahatma's son, Bharata, his original name was Bharata. And according to tradition, Bharata married a woman by name Panchajani, daughter of Vishwarupa. Before the advent of this king Bharata, the whole of India was known, not the name as Bharat. It was known as Ajanabha. Only after the greatness of this king Bharata, the whole country was renamed as Bharat. Even though he is the king, he was a very nishtapara, a very, very orthodox person, meticulously following the scriptures. He used to do so many yajnas, kratus. What is the difference between yajna and a kratu? If there is no yupastambham, it is called yajnam. If there is a yupastambham and an animal is tied for that to be given as yajna pashu, it is called a kratu. Maharaja Bharata did so many yajna yaga adi kratus, like Agnihotram, Darsha Purnamasam, Chaturmashyam, Pashuyagam, Somayagam. Some are called Prakritis, some are called Vikrutis. If that ceremony is there with all the accessories and attachments, it is called Prakriti. And if some of the accessories are not there, it's called Vikruti. He was doing Agnihotram, Darsha Purnamasam, Chaturmashyam, Pashuyagam, Somayagam, all those things. People should not mistake, how come you people talk only about Narayana? But in the Vedas, while doing the homas, etc., you give ahutis to so many other Devi Devatas. Like Indraya Swaha, Indraya Nama, Agnaye Swaha, Agnaye Nama. Then how come you are doing all the other Devi Devatas, invoking them when you do the yajnas? The learned people, when they do yajnas, when they chant Indra, Agni, Varuna, Vayu, etc., they are not directly offering to them. They are actually offering to the Paramatma who is there as Antaryami even in those Devi Devatas. Therefore, it is not a violation of Sharanagati Dharma to do yajnas. Because that Supreme Lord Srimad Narayana is the Antaryami, is the Antaratma, even for those Devi Devatas also. As time passed on, the king Bharata was so established in spiritual life. Brahmani Bhagavati Vasudeve Mahapurusha Rupopaka Lakshani Srivatsa Kaustava Vanamala He made sure that in his heart he has that Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana's form well etched into his heart. How? That Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana, with Sri Mahalakshmi in his Vakshasthalam, with a Srivatsa Lanchanam, Kaustubha Vilasita, and Vanamalas, everything so precious, with Shanki Chakra Kadadi Ayudhas, Narada Ityadi Bhagavatottamas. That Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana's form, Bharata has got very much fixed in his heart. So with that in perspective, Bharata ruled India for a long, long time. Evam Varsha Angita Sahasra Paryanta Avasita Karma Nirvana Avasaro Adhibhujyamanam. Those days they used to live for hundreds of thousands of years. Maharaja Bharata, don't mistake, this is not Rama's brother Bharata, this is another king Bharata. He ruled for crores of years. Finally, he said, enough. Let me go. Where he went? In Badrinath, to an ashram called Pulaha Ashrama. Pulaha is one of the Prajapatis. He went to Pulaha Ashramam. In that Pulaha Ashramam, after Badrinath, if you go to Muktinath, where there is the river Gandaki, where the Salagrama Chinnahas are there available, the Chakrayuta Salagrama Sthalam. So King Bharata went to Mahatma Pulaha's ashramam and was there immersed in his total meditation. People, they say, I finished my japam. How long did it take? They say it's so great. Oh, it took only just 5 minutes. It only just 6 minutes. Fine, something is better than nothing. But see how the other people are doing. This Mahatma, Bharata, after some time, renounced everything, went to Pulahashramam near Muktinath, went to Gandaki river to take bath. And after Sanjhavandana, Nitya Naimitaka karmas, Muhurta Trayam Udaka Ante Upavivesha. Muhurta Trayam Udaka Ante Upavivesha. Everybody knows, in the kind, especially in the time of, at the time of marriages, etc. What is the Lagnam? What is the Muhurtam? Lagnam, what is the Muhurtam time? So that Muhurtam, how long is the Muhurtam? One Muhurta is equal to 48 minutes. In our westernized calendar or the time, we say one day has 24 hours and 1 hour has 60 minutes. Now reverse it. A day has a 60 ghadiyas. A day has a 60 ghadiyas. And each ghadiya is equal to 12 minutes. So according to and per hour 60 minutes, 24 times 60. Same thing. A day in spiritual calendar has 60 ghadiyas and each ghadiya is 24 minutes. So 24 times 60 is the same as 60 times 24. Multiplication is commutative. Same thing for us. 24 hours and 1 hour 60 minutes. In the spiritual calendar, 60 ghadiyas and each ghadiya 24 minutes. So one muhurtam is 2 ghadiyas, 48 minutes. And according to our Western time zone that we are following, 1 hour, 24 minutes per ghadiya. So 24, 24, 48 plus half of it, 12. So 2.5 ghadiyas is equal to 1 hour for us. 24 hours, 24 times 2, 48, 24 halves 12, 48 plus 12, 60. 60 ghadiyas per day. Each ghadiya is 24 minutes. This Mahatma Bharata went into the Gandaki river, had a bath, and 3 muhurta kalas. Brahmaksharam abhigruhano muhurta trayam udakante upavivesha. If you have time, sometime visit Nepal, go to Gandaki Nadi, go to Muktinath, Divyadesham. You can collect your salagramas from Gandaki Nadi. Even if you go in summer, still it is very cold. Winter, we cannot even enter. Even in summer, still it is cold. But still, people go there and take bath. But there is something peculiar. King Bharata stayed in the waters for 3 muhurtas. Muhurta trayam budakanti. For 3 muhurtas. 1 muhurta is 48 minutes. 3 muhurtas. 3 fours 120. 3 eights 24. 144 minutes. 144 minutes. Imagine such a Mahatma. 144 minutes of staying inside the water and doing the japam. 3 muhurta kalas. 144 minutes. Now, as he was there in his meditation, there appeared a deer. Very thirsty, came there to the lake or river or reservoir of water to have a Unfortunately, the same time the deer heard a big roar, a lion's roar in its back. The deer was so scared that the lion will come and kill. It tried to escape. The force with which it took a jump to cross the river, it was such a great force that the deer, which was pregnant, actually gave birth to a baby deer. It crossed the lake and then went away, ran away. But the newborn baby deer, the baby deer did not know where to go. It was there getting carried away by the flow of the waters. This Mahatma Bharata, out of pity that the just born baby deer is going to die, he just lifted it from the water and kept it on the waterfront. That's all he did. Where can the poor baby deer go? It has no mother. It was there just all around the ashram of that Maharshi, of that Mahatma Bharata. As time passed on, he started developing an attachment to the deer. He started developing a lot of attachment to the deer. Slowly, he used to feed the deer also. He used to take care of it, protecting it from other wild animals coming and grabbing that baby deer. Sometimes, having been so attached to the deer, Bharata even was skipping some of his mandatory prayers, like Yama Niyama, the sadhanas. On occasions, even Bhagavad Karyams are there being postponed. And Bharata started contemplating. He was thinking, how fortunate is the deer, it came to me. It is thinking me as its father, mother, everything. It doesn't know anyone other than me. If I don't take care of this, who else will take care of it? And attachment went on and on and on to the extent he used to literally lift that baby deer and keep it on his shoulders and used to run around and carry it so that the baby deer will be feeling very comfortable, homely. Sometimes he used to keep the baby deer in his lap. Sometimes he used to hug. Sometimes, if the deer went out, it didn't come back. He used to get up, go and see where is the deer, where is the deer. Only when he finds it, he used to have some peace of mind. And slowly, as the attachment went on and on and on, if the deer didn't come back home to the cottage or to the ashram, he used to worry. Is the deer alive? Did somebody kill him? And when he sees the deer, he used to have at least some peace of mind. And he always used to worry about the deer. When it went outside, there's no mother next to it to protect it. He's still very young. What will happen to that? Will somebody hurt it? That's how the thoughts went on and on and on. Finally, a stage has come that Mahatma Bharata was thinking, having left my wife, children, everyone, thank God, Bhagavan has sent this deer to give me company. That's how he was thinking. The king was thinking, having got separated from my wife, children, everyone, having come to the forest, this deer has become my best friend and a companion. That is how his attachment to it was growing and growing. But time will not wait for anyone. Atmanam ahira vakubilam duratikramaha kalaha karalarabsa apadyata. Finally, a day come, the king Bharata, who renounced everything and who is there in the forest doing meditation, and looking at the supremacy of Bharata, there's practically nobody around, but still, everybody was there in a very, very sober way. Finally, the time came for Bharata to leave the body. And his thinking was there, focused completely on that baby deer. So, yam yam vapi swaran bhavam chejanchante kalevaram. Thinking of deer, King Bharata left his body. Therefore, his next birth was there like a deer. But even though he was there in the body of a deer, he could remember his previous birth. And he was cursing himself. He was feeling very bad. Is this the reason? Is it to become a deer Did I leave my wife, children, family, everything? What an unfortunate thing has happened. How did I get so much attachment to the deer? To the extent during my last minute in the last birth, I was only thinking of the deer. Because his Sarvakar Sarvavasta Dhyanam was disturbed by a deer, and he was also thinking of the deer, he ended up as a deer in the next birth. He was cursing himself. Finally, even as a deer, since he remembered his past life, he thought, this is not the place for me, this is not the place for me. So he left that place and started as a deer, going to the ashramas of Pulasya, Pulaha, the Prajapatis. Now they left everything, they became Maharshis. So he went to Pulasya, Pulaha ashramas on a mountain called Kalanjara. He went to Pulaha and the Pulasya ashramas. And what all the deer was doing, when will I die? When will I die? When will I die? So that this sinful birth as an animal will be over. And I can do my sadhana in the next birth. As expected. As expected. King Bharata in the next birth as a deer was constantly thinking of the Lord and left that body also. So, King Bharata, next life a deer, next life again, he was born in a very orthodox family belonging to the Angirsa Gotra. And this gentleman, with his first wife, he had 9 sons. And the same Angirsa Gotra priest, through his second wife, got twins, a boy and a girl. And that particular boy is none other than our Bharata. And in this life, he is called Jada Bharata. Because the minute we are born, we are all subjected to Maya. And Bharata didn't want to be subjected to Maya. Now he remembers the 3 births. His previous, this birth, his previous birth as a deer, and his previous birth to that as King Bharata. So this time he decided, let me not have any attachments. Let me not have any attachments. Because he could literally see what all happened to him in that previous birth, what all happened to him as Bharata, what all happened to him as a deer. Now he is aware and he doesn't want to get involved with anything. Therefore, he was behaving like a mad person. He was behaving like a not so intelligent person. He was behaving as a dumb, deaf, and blind. Swapurva janma valehi atmanam unmatta jada andha badhira swarupena dharmayamas lokasya. Jada, a very retarded person. Jada. Andha, one who cannot see. He has eyes, but he pretends as though he is blind because he doesn't want to see anything, because he is afraid of getting attached again. Jada, Andha, Badhira. Badhira, he used to pretend to be deaf. Because if somebody is talking to you, you are forced to talk to him. You are wasting your time. He behaved as though he is dumb. He cannot talk. Jada, Andha, Badhira. He was either behaving like a retarded person, or he was behaving like a blind person, or he was behaving like a deaf person. But still, the Paramatma he is getting. The Paramatma he is getting. And what all he was doing, as the famous Sannyasashrama mantra, he was doing. All the brothers, he had 9 brothers when he was born as a Jada Bharata. This Jada Bharata had his Upanayam done, doing the sadhana of Gayatri Mantra. The brothers thought Karma Kanda is more important than the Vedas. They were thinking Karma Kanda is the best, not the Jnana Kanda. This man Bharata was behaving like a mad person, deaf, dumb. Now, as Bhagavan Krishna says, Manava Manayoho Tulyaha Tulyo Mitrari Pakshayoho. Even though his brothers are giving so much importance to Karma Kanda, Bharata was there in constant meditation on the Supreme Lord. Other people used to think, this man is mad, this man is retarded, this man is deaf. He did not worry about any of their comments. Even his own brothers, his own parents used to treat him like a servant. And even though he was treated like a servant, he did not question whether the food they are giving him was tasty or not. He never tried anything. He never complained. He ate whatever they have given. He was asked to do all the labor work. He did not question anything. He did all those things. And sometimes he did not even dress up properly. Sometimes he used to go out naked. And sometimes just used to have a piece of cloth. Used to have just a piece of cloth, a coat. That's all. And Jadabharata, because of his not having any other external contact, his Brahma Tejas was there literally glowing every day. Other people looking at his inertness, they were thinking, the other people were thinking, is he really a priest or is he not? He did not pay attention, Jadabharata. His own brothers, parents, assigned him the farm labor duty. Jadabharata did not hesitate to become a farm help. And his own sisters-in-law, his brother's wives, they thought this fellow is a stubborn or arrogant or dumb thing. And you know what all his sister-in-laws used to give him as food? Sometimes they used to give him, in the good olden days, they cook, they put some excess water so that it will be cooked. But after everything is cooked, they used to take out the excess water and call it porridge, ganji. And they used to give him that. Bharata never complained, enjoyed it. Sometimes they used to give, like to animals, or some husk. When you grind the paddy, when you pound it, the outer layer, as it starts sieving, it will become very fine powder. Bran, B-R-A-N, bran. The sister-in-laws used to give him the ganji or the slimy water when rice is getting almost cooked. Or they used to give him whatever they can think of as a waste. Whatever they have got as a waste, like some good old stock of urad dal, diagrams, or when they cook, sometimes the vessel bottom could be thin, high flame, so the food gets burnt. It's not very tasty and smells a little bit different. His own sister-in-laws used to give him all that burnt rice. He never questioned anything. Everybody was thinking, this man should be either a Mahayogi or should be either a Mahayogi or some retarded person, depending on how they look at him. Now there, Bharata was asked one day to take care of the farm, because when the farm is almost ready to give the produce, they appoint somebody to keep on turning a small wheel that produces sound so that the birds, etc., will not come, or the wild boars will not come and spoil the crops. Meanwhile, there used to be a local chieftain or the leader of some wayside robbers. He was living the life of a very luxurious life, the life of a king, even though he is there the chief of some highway robbers. He had no children, and somebody suggested, do Narabali to Bhadrakali. Finally, that rich man's servants could get hold of a person. That fellow somehow he was aware that they are going to kill him as a Bali to Bhadrakali. He escaped and he went away. And the servants were so scared because the next day the master, the chief of those highway robbers, wanted to do a Narabali to Bhadrakali. So in the middle of the night, they started searching for somebody. And they found this Jada Bharata. They were so that they can present this person tomorrow to be offered as a sacrifice to Bhadrakali. They did everything for this Jada Bharata. They were doing something. Bharata did not even say one word. Let them do whatever they want. After all, it is the body. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. They gave him a bath. They gave him new clothes. They gave him a lot of decorative stuff. They gave him a wonderful lunch. Now comes the most important aspect. They wanted to offer Jada Bharata as a human sacrifice to Bhadrakali. They kept Bharata in the appointed place where some Kshudra Pujas priest will come and cut off his head. And the fellow at the appointed time was ready. He was ready to cut the head of Bharata. As he was about to cut off the head, Bhadrakali could not accept a Mahabhagavata like Bharata being given as a sacrifice, and that too for the materialistic desires of a wayside robber. Bhadrakali could not accept that kind of a Bhagavata as Bali, because the Brahma Tejas is there, vibrating from his head. Now comes, as the people were there ready to kill Bharata, Bhadrakali just got that stone Vigraham burst and came out. Bhadrakali, she just broke open the Vigraham that is there in the temple, almost like an explosion. And real Bhadrakali came. She was surprised to look at the Brahma Tejas of this Jadabharata. Durga Devi or Bhadrakali got very, very annoyed at the stupid behavior of this local chieftain with his followers, trying to give a great Bharata as a sacrifice to Bhadrakali. She did not like that aspect. And the fellow who was about to kill Jadabharata as a sacrifice, Bhadrakali grabbed the same sword from that fellow and started cutting off the heads of all the followers of that local chieftain. And literally, as the heads were there rolling on the floor, Bhadrakali was playing football with those heads, kicking those heads here and there. Bharata at that time was not even worried of anything. He remained so calm. He remained so calm. They used to call Grandhi, means a knot. If two strings are there separate, you put them, you join them through a knot. Our heart is there knotted in attachment to so many people, family members, sons, daughters, relatives, friends, money, so many things we are attached. He is from the Hridaya Grandhi, the one that produces all the emotions. Emotions of attachment to the parents, to the wife, to the spouse, to the husband, attachment to the kids, so many things are there. The attachments are to be cut off, and Bharata reached a stage of completely cutting off any kind of attachment, anything. As he was walking, everybody was thinking, is Sakshat Srihari himself is walking like this? They thought Srihari himself is there, walking on the planet Earth. To that extent, Jadata became spiritual. Now, there used to be another king by name Rahugana, belonging to Sindhu Savira area. That Sindhu Samvira's king, Rahugana, he wanted to spend his time in a spiritual way. As they were crossing a river, Ikshumati, one of the people who were carrying the king, Rahugana, in that pallaki, could not carry and he just excused himself. But the other people who are carrying, they felt they're missing something. All of a sudden, they saw this Jadabharata sitting in a corner. They just called him, Jadabharata, gladly accepted to be the carrier. But his mind was there elsewhere. Physically, he had a well built body and the shoulders. He used to carry. Now comes this Rahugana was there going in a palaki. They needed somebody, one more person to carry. They found Jadabharata. They asked him, would you like to carry? He just smiled and started carrying Rahugana. But his mind was not there on anything. He was there constantly thinking of that Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana. While carrying the king, they used to pay every attention to make sure the king is there sitting very comfortably. But unfortunately, Jadabharata was not at all worried about carrying or anything. Mechanically, he was walking with so much of heavy load from the palaki, but his mind was there focusing. And more important, he was just looking constantly at the ground. Why? Are there any mosquitoes? Sorry, are there any small insects, worms, etc., which I may be stamping on them and which, who knows, they may die. So he was not taking the steps properly in tune with the other people who are carrying that King Rahugana. His stepping was very and that Pallaki used to swing from this way to that way to this way. The king Rahugana got annoyed. He asked, what is the reason why you could not carry me properly? So one of the servants replied, sir, we were doing our job to the best of our ability. But here comes a new fellow to carry you. He is not listening to us, he is not cooperating with us. He is not in step with us. The pace is different. He is a Kshatriya Rahugana. So for the Kshatriyas, the natural quality of Rajoguna could be there. So that Rahugana, with his Rajoguna Prakopam, wanted to teach a lesson to Jadabharata. So in a very sarcastic way, he started addressing Jadabharata. Oh my brother, the king Rahugana is joking or making fun of Jadabharata. Oh my brother, what kind of a difficulty you have got? Oh, did you carry me for so long? Are you hurt in any way? Oh, Jadabharata has a well-built body, but just to tease him, the king Rahugana was telling, who you should have been very tired. You look very weak. Do you want to eat something? Your hands and legs seem to be very weak, even though Jadabharata is there having a well-built body. He's just making fun of him. You have such a good body, can't you carry me properly? Instead of saying that, he is saying, oh, you are carrying, you're so weak. Are you tired? Like that. Jadabharata did not reply. It's okay. Manapamanayoho tulyaha tulyo mitrari pakshayoho. Sarvarambha parichagi yomad bhakta sami priyaha. He was following the philosophy, Yasmanno dvijite loko, lokanno dvijite chayaha. Let me not be a pain to others. Let not anybody be pain to me. So Jadabharata did not worry about his comments, the king's comments. Jadabharata just kept quiet. Jadabharata is thinking, I should not have this I and my attachment. This I and my is a midhya bhavam, means something which is not true. Rahugana got very annoyed even with the silence of Jadabharata and said, I must give you proper punishment. Then only you will come back to your senses. At that time, when that king Rahugana was almost about to kill Jadabharata, that is the time Jadabharata replied, my dear king, what you said is certainly true. Who is carrying this pallaki? Not me. It is my body that is carrying. But I am not my body. I am the soul. So my soul has nothing to do with the body. The body is suffering, let it be. You handle it. Now, Jadabharata is giving a big lecture to Rahugana. You are thinking I am carrying. No, I am not carrying. Everything is there done by the body. It is the body that is carrying. But I am not the body. I am the soul. You sarcastically commented that I look very weak. If that is the case, anybody who is a heavyweight champion should never have any death. When death comes, it is only to the body, not to me or my. Now, he continued, anybody who has some common sense will not talk like you, my dear king, because this body is sure to die, if not today, tomorrow. For the body which is going to fall down any minute, any day, why worry about it? Whether it is hunger, whether it is pain, whether it is pleasure, they're all to the body only, not to the mind. Birth and death. Adyantavartam. Birth is the beginning, death is the end. Adyantavartam. Anything that has a beginning and anything that has an end, they are all subjected to the laws of this world. The birth, the death, all those things. When we have a relationship that you are the master, I'm your servant, then exists a relationship that you are paying me, I have to work for you. But I'm not your servant, I'm not working for you. And your logic of that you are the king, I'm a servant will not work with me. Okay, my dear king, you said you are the king, I'm a servant, and you have to discipline me, you have to punish me. Please let me know, my dear king, who is the king? Who is a king? Who is a servant? You tell me what I have to do. I will do whatever you want. You said you will set me right. Agreed. I am like a retarded person. But you tell me who is a king, who is a retarded person? Who is a king, who is a servant? Nobody is a servant, nobody is a master. It is only the body that is a servant, body that is the master. And for someone who is not worried about the body, Whatever treatment you are giving is not going to affect me. Because you said, am I sick? You are going to give me the medication. In your opinion, I'm not behaving properly. I should get the punishment as my medication. You want to punish me? Go ahead and punish me. I'm not worried about your punishment. When I am there, always meditating on the Lord, and I am beyond anyone else, your punishment to me is only like Pishta Peshanam. Pishta Peshanam means when you want to make some roti or something, you take some flour, add some water, and keep on just pounding on it or pressing it or rolling it, etc. Pishta Peshanam. So to make that roti very soft, you keep on squeezing it, you keep on pressing it. Prishta Peshanam. My dear king, you are trying to punish me is like somebody squeezing a ball of flour made into a paste. What are you going to get out of it? It's only my body that is getting the punishment, not my soul. And whatever happens to the body, I don't care about anything. Charvita Charvanam. Similarly here, Prishta Peshanam. When Mahatma Bharata, Jada Bharata, who has no body consciousness, who is always very peaceful, said and then kept quiet, that King Rahugana was so scared that he has offended a Mahatma, jumped from his pallaki, fell at his feet and asked for forgiveness. And he said, hey Mahatma, you are there. Are you a Mahatma like a Dattatreya who is there in disguise? Are you any of the Avadhutas? Whose son are you? Who is your guru? Where are you coming from here? How did you end up being a servant carrying me in my and a servant of my palaki to carry me? How did you get this? How did you get into this? And what a great apacharam we have done by asking you to carry me and also by threatening to punish you if you don't do your job properly. King Rahugana, King Rahugana by himself also is a little bit of a philosopher. So he fell at the feet of Bharata, Jada Bharata, and said, I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of the Vajrayudha in the hands of Indra. I'm not afraid of the Trishulam in the hands of Shankara. I'm not afraid of any of these things. But the only thing I'm afraid of was to hurt Bhagavatas. Brahma Kula Avamanat. Shanke Bhrisham Brahma Kulapa Sama Brahma Kulavamanat. I know if I have hurt Vaidikas, Bhagavatas, Brahmanas, I know I am inviting my own ruin. If things happen beyond our ability, there is nothing that we can do. Finally, he is asking, are you Kapila Maharshi? Did I hurt any of you? Did I hurt either you or any of the Bhagavatas, or did I exceed my Bhagavata Dharmam? Have I done apacharam? I am so scared of the curses of a pure Brahmana. To that extent, Rahugana has changed. And he went on to say, people who are there in the family life will do it next time. In Prahlada says, Atsapuchi katimbadi gruhavrutalai vashaya pravistulai satsuchu puttuzan marala charvita charvanalaina varikin chachara puttune, he says. The family life is like a huge net that a hunter spreads to catch the birds or small animals that stray into the path of that net. Now, Jadabharta is telling, advising rather the king, when the king felt very sorry for his behavior. Please bless me. Do not curse me. I am your servant. I did it by mistake. The king Rahugana asked so much for forgiveness, so many times for forgiveness. Rahugana says, I am not afraid of anything except Sakshat Harim Jnana Kalavatirnam. He realized his mistake, asked for forgiveness. Now Bharata started giving his discourse. My dear King Rahugana, by doing the Yajna Yagadi Kratos, you can only get Swargalokam, nothing more than that. By doing the Yajna Yagadi Kratos, etc., we get only Swargadi Bhogas, not Srivaikuntam. And that too, the mind is there, playing a havoc with our destiny. An uncontrolled mind is your worst enemy. And a mind is the one, the master of all the senses. As Bhagavan says, Sangat Sanjayate Krodhaha. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smrti bhramshaha, buddhinashas pranashyati. Attachment is the root cause of all evil. Get over attachment. The sense organs are there, working under the direction of or under the commandership of the mind. Therefore, if you can control your mind, you will automatically have sense control. You can't control your mind. Very difficult to control your desires. Now, the Triguna, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna are offshoots of Maya. A person in the Jagrata Avastha, when he is awake, will be planning and executing so many actions with the Sankalpam, etc., with the Sthula Sharira. But when person is there in the Swapna Avastha, while sleeping in the dream state, in Swapna Avastha, even though the gross mind is not working, the mind in its subtle form will be acting in the Sukshma Rupa. And in the Sushupti, deep sleep, the mind will be Nirvikara, without any changes. Therefore, try to overcome the body consciousness, my dear king. The minute the mind is there attached to material things, we are just dumped in this ocean. But remember, when a light is lit, the light means taking a small wick from a cotton, adding some ghee and lighting the lamp. When all the ghee was almost over, what happens to the cotton that you used? Even the cotton also will get absorbed into the Agni Tattvam, which you know very well. You may light a lamp, it can glow, but how long will it go? When all the oil or ghee that you have used has exhausted, even the wick that you have offered, even that wick loses its identity, joining the Agni Tattvam. Same way here, Maharaja. When the body leaves, the senses will have their own body, the Sukshma Shariram, and go to heaven or hell and suffer, etc. Vairanubam bandham mamatam vidhatte bhratruvyamenam tadubhraviryam upekshaya adhyeditatam apravuttaha. So here, final piece of advice from Bharata to Rahugana. You are forgetting your own mind is your worst enemy. And his description goes on and on and on and on. And the most important thing for us is that if we indulge in sense gratification, and if we are not able to control our mind, we are sure to take birth after birth after birth after birth. And if we can, whatever we think of in the last minute, that will be our next birth. There is no guarantee we can think of Bhagavan in the last minutes. When you're awake, Antakali Chamameva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram, you can put it to practice. When you're awake, when you're conscious. But some people die in their sleep and some people die in a coma. What happens to them? That is where Bhagavan says, do Sharanagati. If you cannot think of Hari in your last minute, Hari will think of you and will lead you to moksham. That is what exactly we know. Because a Jadabharata in the first birth as a king never expected he will end up as a deer. He was cursing himself, is it only to become a deer? I left my everything. The palace, the queen, the money, the servants, all the comforts. Therefore, let me not become a slave now to any of the senses. What I thought that came real. I thought of a deer. In the last minute, I became a deer. I was thinking how to get out of the body of a deer and then get Bhagavan's Sakshatkaram. I left the body of the deer, now got a human being. I'm not having any attachment. Same thing for you. So this kind of a wonderful way of presenting, guiding us to do Sharanagati and attain Sri Vaikuntham is here in the Jada Bharata Upakhyanam. When a king himself, who left everything, who did Sarvasanga Parichagam, and went to the forest to meditate only, and he also could get attached to a deer and became a deer in the next birth. All of you think for yourselves, leading a family life, surrounded by the so-called fictitious family, a fictitious wife, a fictitious husband, an imaginary group of children, an imaginary number of friends. How much we are going down and down and down in our spiritual life. And when a person who renounced everything also think of a deer in the last minute, what are the people who are there totally immersed in material life? Will they not be attached either to their son or daughter or husband or wife or something or to money? Just as Jadabharata thought of a deer. It's very strict Orthodox people. They don't have a pet dog. They don't have a pet cat. They don't have a fish tank in the house. You know why? Without your knowledge, you may develop attachment. That's why they don't have. So that is what we remember as far as reincarnation is concerned. A king could reincarnate as a deer. A deer again could reincarnate as a human being. And only controlling the mind and having a strict control over the senses only, we can get moksham. The same thing, taking birth again, is there in the Gajendra Moksham. He was a king, Indradyumna. King Indradyumna of Pandya kingdom in Tamil Nadu, long time ago. He renounced everything, left the king, the queen, the palace, the money, the comforts, servants, everyone. Came to Western Ghats, Nilagiris, and was meditating. He was lost in thought. Great Agastya Maharshi came there, asked for some water. Indradyumna did not respond. Agastya mistook his silence and said, "You seem to be meditating like a dumb elephant. May you become an elephant." So, Indradyumna's next birth was that of an elephant. And that elephant went to drink some water. Over there before, there was a Gandharva, a celestial. Gandharvas are very good at fine arts, singing, music, etc. And they have a very beautiful, handsome body. The Maharshis always fast, eating only one meal a day because, okay, it doesn't apply to you. It says, Aharahar Vaikshnamashneeyat. Eat only one meal a day, one meal a day. But so many of us are there taking plenty meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, drinks, so many things. But Gajendra became an elephant and came to the water to drink some water. And the Gandharva, his name was Hu, used to go to the Maharshis who are fasting, observing all the religious vows, and used to make fun of them. Swamiji, you look very good. You look very handsome. You look very handsome. You look nice. And those people were there very, very irritated, but they did not do anything. But when his pranks became unbearable, that is when a Maharshi Devala cursed him. Just because you are a Gandharva, you have a very handsome personality, and you are very good at some fine arts, singing, etc. You are making fun of us that we look handsome even though we are very, very skin and bones. All right, you want to make fun of us that we are handsome? You also become a crocodile. You will know how handsome you will look. That's how that Gandharva became a crocodile. And because of that sthana balam, the crocodile proved to be much, much superior in strength to that of an elephant. The elephant tried its best. Now remember, this is not from Kali Yuga to think that we live only for 1,000 years or 100 years. No. There, that time, the elephant fought with the crocodile for 1,000 years and unable to find. Because of the jnanam of the meditation that he did as Indradyumna in the previous birth, he remembered the Supreme Lord. And the fear of death made Gajendra come to the Supreme Lord and pray and do Sharanagati. Now the prayers of Gajendra are very, very wonderful. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yata Etachchidatmakam Purushaya Adibijaya Parayeshabhidhimahi. May I surrender to that Supreme Lord, who is the Purusha, who is the Mulakarana, Mula Muleti Khinne, who is the root cause of everything, who is the original product and who are all the derived products. Sriman Narayana, Adi Purusha, from him, from his Nabi Kamala, Brahma. After Brahma creating Kumaras who did not listen to him, who renounced, became 5-year-old kids and went to Vaikuntham, Brahma was so angry. And all that anger personified came from the center of the eyebrows of Brahma and became Rudra. Rudra started creating the Pramadaganas who are devouring the universe. Brahma asked Rudras to stop creating Pramadaganas who are actually not helping the process of creation, but are devouring the creation. Ask them to do meditation, especially Shankara. So everybody has an origin. Brahma has an origin, Rudras have origin, Devi Devatas have origin. The only one who is the Adi Moolam is Sriman Narayana. If Adi Purusha is Sriman Narayana, the first derivative is Brahma, second derivative is Rudra, third derivative, the Ganadhipas, etc. Just like you have milk, you can boil it, add some yogurt and get yogurt out of it by the next day. Yogurt came from milk, which is the original product. You churn the yogurt, you get butter, which came from yogurt, and the yogurt came from milk. You boil that butter, you get ghee. The ghee came from the butter came from yogurt, and the yogurt came from milk. If this much is, we know milk is the first and the foremost product. Rest of them, yogurt, butter, ghee, they're all derived products. Any number of derived products, yogurt, butter, ghee, either individually or collectively, cannot give the original product. Yogurt came from milk. Okay, take a bucket of yogurt. Can you do the reverse process and get 1 cup of milk out of it? Okay, you churned yogurt and you got butter. Okay, take 100 pounds of butter. Can you get 1 cup of yogurt out of it? Okay, start boiling the butter. You get ghee. Take 1 cup of ghee. Reverse the process. Can you get 1 stick of butter? So any number of derived products, yogurt, butter, ghee, either individually or collectively will never be equal to the original person, Adi Purusha, Sriman Narayana, Mula Muleti Kinni. That is the meaning of Adi Moolam. Purushaya Adi Bijaya, the first and the foremost seed giving father. Now, Kalena Panchatta Mitoshu Krutnashu, Lokeshu Paleshu Sarvahetushu, Tamastat Asid Gahanam Gabhiram, Yastasya Pare Abhi Virajat Devi Bhuhu. This Gajendra did not pray to one particular god by name, Hey Rama, Hey Krishna, Hey Shankara, Hey Brahma, Hey Indra, protect me. He only said, whomsoever is the Supreme Lord, whomsoever is there taking different forms to create, to maintain, and to dissolve the universes, whomsoever has immense mercy for all the fallen souls. That Supreme Lord, may he come and give me, protect me. And he says, when all the universes are there, completely wiped out, at the end of the 100 years of Brahma, all worlds, all the worlds, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, Tapoloka, Janloka, Brahmaloka, all wiped out. At the end of the day of Brahma, only Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka are wiped out. Then the people, Devi Devatas from Sargaloka, move on to the next. All of them are wiped out. Then people from Maharloka will go one step higher. Maharloka people will go to Tapoloka. At the end of the 100 years of Brahma, even Brahma Loka will be wiped out. Everything will be wiped out. Lokambulu Lokeshuru Lokasturu Tegati Alokambaku Penji Katikavara Nevande Kaprati Velugu Vani Atmamulu Nardhidarantun. When all the worlds are there wiped out, And all the Devi Devatas who are there in charge of all those words are equally wiped out because they are also Jivatmas. Every Devi Devata, no exception. Those Jivatmas who have taken the body of Devatas, they also have to practice either pure Bhakti Yoga or Sharanagati. They have to get moksham. If not, they have to come back and take birth. If ordinary people, you have Punya Karma, you go to Swargam, you can enjoy, but Kshene Punye Marchalokam Vishanti. Gajendra is praying, may that Supreme Lord come and protect me. He talks about the theory of black holes. One who is beyond the black hole, one who is beyond the point singularity, one who is beyond that wormhole, one who is beyond that black hole, which is that Supreme Lord shining in the Dharakasham. That is what he was mentioning. He is beyond the black hole. Then he was saying, Hey Supreme Lord, I am unable to live. The pain is unbearable. My life energy is webbing out. Please protect me, protect me, protect me. Now comes a very interesting anecdote. When Gajendra was praying to the Supreme Lord, he did not call him by name, Hey Narayana, Hey Krishna, Hey Rama, Hey Nrasimha. Or as some people think, he did not call by name, Hey Brahma, protect me, Hey Rudra, protect me, Hey Indra, protect me. He said, whomsoever is the Supreme Lord. It is like an open-ended email addressed to anybody and everybody. Everybody opened it. Then, Naham, Naham, Nachaham, Nacha Bhavati Madruso, Sadruseshu, Ityevam Chakta Haste, Sabati Suragane, Bhavashunye Samaste. Everybody opened. But when it came to Adi Moolam, Moola Mule Tikinne, sorry, I don't qualify as Adi Moolam. I don't qualify as Adi Moolam. I don't. Everyone passed on to the next person, passed on to the next higher authority. That is where we come across none of the Devi Devatas are equally capable of Narayana, who can manifest as Brahma, who can manifest as Rudra. Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Rudro Jayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate. When a suitable Jivatma is there with the right Punya Karma, they will be appointed as Brahma, Rudra, Indra, Chandra, Ashwini Devatas, etc., etc. No Devi Devata, Naham, Nachaham, Nachabhavit Matuso, Sadrusheshu. Nobody could come to rescue Gajendra. The Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana is the only one who qualified for that word, Adi Moolam. A Mahatma Potana who was translating Srimad Bhagavatham into Telugu had a doubt. When this Gajendra was praying, what was Lord Narayana doing? He did not know how to complete it. He just wrote, Ala Vaikuntha Parambolo Nagarilo. Afterwards, in that Vaikuntham, in the palace, what next? He doesn't know. Very difficult to describe. We are in America, you describe New York, you say, oh, Statue of Liberty, Manhattan, so many things. But you've never been to Russia. Describe Russia, you don't know. Russia, Moscow. After that, what? We don't know. Same thing Potana was thinking. In that Vaikuntham Sriman Narayana, what next? He doesn't know. Bhagavan himself came and completed what he was doing at that time. Amula Saudham Buddha Pala Mandara Vanantaramrita Sara Prantendu Kanto Palatpa Prayanka Rama Vinodiyagu Apanna Prasannundu Bikvara Nagendramu Pahi and Aspiyalinchi Samrambhiyai. And when this king elephant was there, begging, protect me, then left everything, let what Narayana wants to happen. He was looking up to see Lord Sriman Narayana. As we said over there in Vaikuntham, Bhagavan Sriman Narayana was there in the Kalpa Vruksha Chaya, playing a game of dice in the Ratna Mandaya asanas. When Bhagavan was almost about to win the game of chess, Mahalakshmi was there very annoyed and objected. Yes, you ask me to play, but every time you win, I lose. I don't like it. She disturbed all the pawns over there and then she was going away. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana was dragging her by holding on to the end, by holding on to the upper portion of her sari and asking her, sit down, play the full game, don't get up, don't go away. At that point, Bhagavan Sriman Narayana heard the message of Gajendra. And the minute that message was received by the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana, very beautifully he says, Silikin Japadu Shankar Chakra Yugaman Chedu, Sandhimpadu, Ye Parivaram Banujir, Abragapatin Banimpadu, Akarni Kantradhamilam Sakanotra, Vivada Proti, the Sri Kucho Parichela and Charamana Viradu, Gaja Prana Vanotsahi. Tarkshyam Arushya Dhavan. Srimad Bhagavatam Vedavyasa says, Tarkshyam Arushya Dhavan. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana didn't even inform anybody that he is going there to protect Gajendra. He did not say even one word. He did not even tell Mahalakshmi. He did not even call Garuda. He did not bother to bring Shankachakras or anything with him. He was just rushing. Tana Ventansri, Lachi Ventana Varodha Vratamun, Vani Ventana Pakshindrudu, Kadali Rabala Gopalamun, the entire Vaikuntham started descending. Narayana is running. He was still holding the upper portion of the sari of Mahalakshmi in his hands still. Literally, Sriman Narayana was dragging Sri Mahalakshmi. Behind Mahalakshmi, Garuda, everybody started coming. Garuda begged for forgiveness and Sriman Narayana sat on Garuda Vahana and started coming. Sriman Narayana was telling Garuda, make it fast, make it fast, make it fast. And Garuda said, sorry, Swami, this is the best I can do. I cannot go anything faster. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana got annoyed. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedavyasa introduces even some relativistic quantum mechanics. How? Tarkshyam Arushya Dhavan, Garuda, make it fast, make it fast, make it fast. Garuda says, cannot. All right. Sriman Narayana got down from Garuda, held Garuda by the neck, and was coming at a speed beyond the velocity of light. 180,000 miles in 1 second. 180 miles per second. Bhagavan was coming at a speed much, much higher than the speed of light. And Gajendra means Garuda has no choice to say. Bhagavan was dragging him at much greater than the velocity of light. Over there, the loss of our mechanics will fail. There you come across Lorentz contraction and time dilatations. Same thing he says. The distance between Sivaikuntham and earth proved to be very, very little because Lord Narayana was traveling at such a great speed. Time dilatations, time seems to have been stretched because it's only 1 second. But in 1 second, the message has to go from the planet Earth to Sivaikuntham. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana has to rush. And then Garuda coming. Narayana getting down from Garuda and again getting exactly on time as needed. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana descended onto earth and sent his Sudarshana Chakra. When Sudarshana Chakra Prayogam was done, any amount of tricks, maya, everything, nothing can work. That's why they say, Paramantra, Yantra, Tantra, Aushadha, Ashta, Shastrani, Samhara, Samhara, Mruchor, Mochaya, Mochaya. That is Sudarshana. Sudarshana came and cut off the head of that crocodile. That's it. That life of crocodile has gone. He became a Gandharva. Hu Nama Gandharva. Bhagavan touched Gajendra. With the touch of Bhagavan's hand, Gajendra got his original form. Gajendra got his original form as Indradyumna. And along with Bhagavan, Gajendra also went to Sri Vaikuntham. This is how in Gajendra Moksham it says, whomsoever is the Supreme Lord confirms only to Sriman Narayana. That is why the Vedas Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Rudro Jayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate, Narayanat Prajapati Prajayante, Narayanat Dvadashaditya Rudra Vasvasa Sarvana Shadda Gumse. That Supreme Lord Narayana alone qualifies. Of course, his Purna Taras like Lakshman Nrsimha, Rama, Krishna, his manifestation like Srinivasa, they alone can qualify for the word Bhagavan. So in Gajendra Moksham, we have such a wonderful episode that the supremacy of Lord Sriman Narayana is established beyond any doubt. When it says, Naham, Naham, Nachaham, Nachabhavati Madhuso, Sadhusheshu, Ityevam Tyakta Haste, Sapati Suragade, Bhavashunya Samaste. Every Devi Devata, Pipirika, Brahma Parjantam are witnessing because of the special power Bhagavan Sriman Narayana has blessed with. Everyone could realize Sriman Narayana alone is the Supreme Lord. Vishwamayathalemi when you know Rakarundi, Rambujasa Nadu Addu Padaka. That Vishwamayatnam was missing. So when Vishwamayatnam was missing, nobody could come and rescue Gajendra. Only Sriman Narayana could come and rescue. The Gajendra Mokshana Katha is so great. Anybody who contemplates and realizes the Supreme Lord as a Sri Hari and does Sharanagati is sure to get moksham. Here comes one incident. If Gajendra is so great, how come he was suffering, bleeding to death? Lavakinta yuridu dhairima vilolambaya pranam bulantavul depenu murchavachitanu shramam bayadin nive tappaita paramberga mannim pandagundinunin rave ishve varada samrakshimpa bhadratmaka. Why did he suffer? Prahlada, his next class we'll do Prahlada and also Ajamila. In the case of Prahlada, his father gave him unimaginable torture. But Prahlada was never said, I am bleeding, I am dying. Somebody help me. No. He only said Narayana. He knows. Why should I say even Narayana protect me? Narayana knows what to do. It is his job to protect the devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam is his first and the primary duty. So why should I even have to remind him of his job? That is the Paramaikantika Bhagavata. But here, Gajendra lost that absolute faith in Narayana. Even though he said, I am surrendering to you, he lost that absolute faith because Gajendra himself said, Karadandur Dinulayada, Paramayogi Ganamala Padan, Karadandurani Disharanu, Karadu, Karandanadu, Karado, Ledo, Krishna. They say you are there everywhere, you are there everywhere. But look at me. Are you really there? When I'm suffering so much, how come you keep quiet? Are you really there? Doubt has come. That is why Gajendra suffered. Whereas in the case of Prahlada, when his father asked, where is your Narayana? Prahlada gave a wonderful reply. Indugara Danduleden Sande Murdu Chakra Sarvo Pakatun Dendendi Vedaka Suchana Andande Karadu Dhanavagrani Vinte. That's why that absolute faith is essential thing for Sharanagati. You have that, you have everything. You don't have that, your excellence, your poetry, your language, your speaking skills, your money, your handsomeness, your power, nothing works. Nothing is important for Narayana except that pure love for him. That's how Gajendra Moksham proves Sriman Narayana is the Adi Purusha. All right, Ma, we have a few minutes left, some 20 minutes or so. Mala, come with your questions and let's see what they are.
Sure, I will go with the first question. Why is it? Okay. The first one is, why did the learned king Bharata not learn complete detachment despite being so knowledgeable to detach from material and family in the first place? Also, he was showing love and compassion to an animal due to which he went into rebirth. Why this for a person showing compassion?
You can show compassion, you should not have attachment. Nishkama karma, with no attachment to the fruits, is more important. Yes, he renounced his wife, his kingdom, his wealth, everything. But when he came to see the deer, he indirectly felt the children I am missing, I could see in this small, poor deer. And his attachment to went to such an extent that if it is not coming back home by evening, he literally used to worry about it, search for it. Only when it came and sat in his lap, he used to feel comfortable. So without our knowledge, if we develop attachment, we will end up like Bharata. Because yam yam vapi smaran bhavam chajanchante kalevaram tam tamevaita kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Same thing, Mala. Why are you born as a woman? In your last birth, in your last minute, a female form crossed your mind. Could be your wife, could be your punya karma is good, you are destined to become a human being, so you are born as a human being, but the same Jivatma. Go ahead.
Okay, so the second one is, how did Gajendra and Bharata, when became deer, remember about Lord Narayana, though they were animals?
Okay, because of the intense meditation Indradyumna did in the previous birth, even though he was cursed by Agastya Maharshi, even though he became a deer, he remembered his previous life. And Indradyumna remembered his previous birth, and that flash came to his memory in the most critical time in his life, that he must focus on the Supreme Lord. Whereas in the case of Bharata, he also did so much of tapasya in the previous birth. So even though he became a deer in the next birth, he could still remember his past life. And after that, he was born as a very wonderful child, but behaved like a retarded child. But because of the intense tapasya he did as Bharata in the first place, he could remember now 3 births. First birth as the king Bharata, second birth as a deer, third birth as this retarded person in this family. So that meditation you did, will help you anytime. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. You follow dharma, that dharma will help you. However little it is, it will help you. Trayate mahato bhayat. It can save you from calamities. That is how Jadabharata, becoming a deer, could remember his previous life because of his meditation in the previous birth. And Indradyumna's meditation helped Gajendra think of the Supreme Lord in the next birth. Because it will never go a waste. Go ahead, Ma.
Next question is, why did Gajendra not call out for Swami Narayana early on? Why struggle for 1,000 years and call out only when his last bit of energy ran out?
Only when the karma comes to fructification, they come to realize. Simple, simple, simple. Look at all our listeners. Everybody knows Jatasya dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Death is certain for everyone who is born. Rebirth is certain for everybody who is dead. Or at least they know what Shankaracharya said in Bhajagovindam. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janane jathay shayanam. Good. Why they are not doing Sharanagati? Why they are not thinking of moksham? Why they are thinking every Devi Devata can give them moksham? It is almost like there is a president for the United States, then you have vice president, 100 senators, some 540 or so Congress members. There are 50 states, 50 state governors. Each state has its own assembly, so many legislators. There are more than 10,000 villages or cities. Every city has a mayor. What are all these? Different government officers. But somebody is there, an ignorant person thinking, the mayor of New York City is exactly the same as the governor of Pennsylvania, is exactly the same as a senator, is exactly the same as a secretary of state, is exactly the same as a vice president or even the president of the United States. Is that a valid statement? They are all no doubt government officers, but none of them can be called as the president of the United States. Same thing. Sriman Narayana is the supreme authority. Others are Devi Devatas. Devi Devatas can fulfill your desires. I want a son, I want money, I want a job, I want a house. But none of them give you moksham because they themselves cannot give you moksham. They did not get moksham yet. If they got moksham, why are they still there in the Swargaloka? They would have been there in Vaikuntham. If they go to Vaikuntham, yad gatva nanivartante raddhama pramamma. So they know why they are not doing Sharanagati. Why they are there going to different Devi Devatas. Karma did not come to fructification. Got it, Amma?
Ariyan Swamiji. The next question is, when Bharata was such a learned person, then why he didn't take Sharanagati?
Being learned is different from going for it. Why he did not do Sharanagati? He wanted to practice Bhakti Yoga. The people who practice Bhakti Yoga enjoy Bhakti Yoga because you have developed an intense relationship with Bhagavan. Maybe in Dasya Bhava, maybe in Sakya Bhava, maybe in Vatsalya Bhava, maybe in Madhurya Bhava. They enjoy that relationship. That's why they don't do Sharanagati. But other people, as Lord Krishna says, Sarvathanman Parichajya, Krishna, I am incapable of practicing either Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or Jnana, Karma and Bhakti Yogas. I am incapable of practicing. Therefore, Akinchanaha Ananyagatiha Sharanya Tutpadamulam Sharanam Prapajye. I cannot do anything except surrender at your feet. The burden of my protection is there at your feet. Varada Nijabharam Nirbharo Nirbhayosme. So that is why other people don't do Sharanagati. Same thing for Gajendra. Go ahead, Ma.
Next question. How to overcome envy? Even though in Bhagavatam, these types of Antashatru Vargas are dominating among devotees and not letting us to do pure devotion towards Krishna with love.
Emma, when you are very young, your system is there. Your defense mechanism in your body is very good. Even a small virus, something attacking you, your own self-defending system will fight for it. But as you grow old, your immunity system is compromised. Therefore, the virus will take an upper hand and all the diseases will start showing up their ugly heads then. Same thing. If when we become slaves to our mind and our passions, the 6 enemies, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, will dominate. When you control the mind, when your willpower can control the mind, naturally they will retreat. It is a question of who is the boss. If the mind is the boss, it will lead you to in different directions. But if your intelligence is the boss, if your intelligence can overrule the mind, what am I doing? Am I doing this? Will it give me salvation? Is this the right puja? The Supreme Lord? This kind of vichakshana should be there. But because people don't have this, the Arishad Vargas, the 6 internal enemies have got an upper hand. The internal enemies have got an upper hand. But if your willpower is there to surrender to Narayana, none of these senses can affect you. Is that clear, Amma?
Ariyan Swamiji. The next question is, how Bhakti Yoga is different than Sharanagati?
Bhakti Yoga is compared to Markata Kishoranyayam. Look at a monkey and a baby monkey. If a baby monkey, it cannot jump from one tree to the other tree. The baby monkey has to hold on to the mother 24/7. If the baby monkey looks this way and that way and it loses the grip, the mother monkey will not hold the baby. The mother monkey will simply jump and the baby will fall down. In Bhakti Yoga, you have to hold on to the feet of Lord Srimad Narayana 24/7. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dhrudavratah. The Bhakti Yoga has to be practiced at 24/7. And even if you practice at the time of death, your death may visit you when you are sleeping or when you are in a coma. So how can you think of Hari, Hari, Hari then? So in Bhakti Yoga, your effort is needed as a baby monkey is holding on to its mother. In Sharanagati, it is called Marjala Kishoranyaya. Look at a cat and a kitten. The cat, with its sharp teeth, it can tear open a rat, eat. But with the same sharp teeth, look at a kitten. The kitten doesn't have to do anything. Just keep quiet. Allow the mother to handle it. The mother cat will hold the kitten by its teeth so gently and transport the kitten from one house to the other house. So the burden of transportation lies with the mother, not with the kitten. In Sharanagati, you simply submit to Krishna, Srimad Narayana, Sarvadharman Parityajya. Krishna, I am a fit for nothing fellow. Akinchana means fit for nothing fellow. I cannot do Karma Yoga, I cannot do Jnana Yoga, I cannot do Bhakti Yoga. Ananyagatiha, Krishna, there is no one to protect me. Tvatpada Moolam Sharanam Prapajye. Krishna, I bow down at your feet. Could you see the difference? In Sharanagati, you don't have to do anything other than just do Sharanagati. Narayana will handle the rest of it. In Bhakti Yoga, you have to 24/7, you have to hold on to the feet of Krishna. And the other advantage, in Sharanagati, what about Antima Smriti? Do you still have to think Hari, Hari in the last minute? No. Varadaraja gave a promise to Tirukachanambe to Bhagavad Ramanuja. Antima Smriti Varjanam. I don't care whether he thinks of me or not. Then how will he get moksham? Very simple. Sharanagati, the supremacy. Go to Varaha Purana. Bhudevi asked Varaha Swami, Swami, you said unless a person thinks of Hari, Hari in the last minute, they will not get salvation. What if a devotee has to die in their sleep? If the devotee dies in a coma, what will happen to them? Because we don't know what they are thinking, they may not be able to think of Hari, Hari. Bhagavan Varahaswami gave a promise to Bhudevi. Sthite manasasaswaste sharire satyo naraha dhatu samye sade smarta vishwarupancha mamajam tatastam raimanastu kashta pashana sannibham aham smarami madbhaktam nayami mangatim. Don't worry about it, Bhudevi. When they are healthy, when they are young, let them do Sharanagati. At the last minute, even if they were to die when they were sleeping, even if they were to die in an unconscious state, in a coma, if they cannot think of me, I will think of my devotee and lead them to moksham. What else you want? Bhakti Yoga. I know Mr. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. I know, but Narendra Modi doesn't know me. Sharanagati, the Prime Minister says, I know that person. See the difference? So at the last minute, if you cannot think of Krishna, Bhagavan Varahaswami gave a promise that Bhagavan, Srihari, Srimad Narayana, Govinda, they will think of you and your moksham is guaranteed. Go ahead. Could you see the difference between Bhakti Yoga and Sharanagati Yoga?
Yes.
In Bhakti Yoga, you will get moksham when we don't know. Unfortunately, we all came completing our exams or passing them with 35 marks. Bhakti Yoga pass mark is not 35%, 100%. In this life, you practice Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is not how many times you went to the temple or how. Bhakti Yoga is accepting a Upadesham from one of the good Acharyas, one of the 32 Brahma Vidyas, like Nachiketa Vidya, Dahana Vidya, Nyasa Vidya, Panchagni Vidya. and doing the upasana on them. Now, in this life, you started Bhakti Yoga, you came up to 54% of perfection. Good. You did not pass the exam yet, but you are not a failure. You are not a failure, but you did not pass the exam yet. Then your next life starts. Shuchi nam srimatam gehe yoga bhrashtu bhijayate. You will be born in the family of very religious people or orthodox people. In the next birth, taking birth in an orthodox or religious family, with a satsangam, you may make progress from 54%. You don't start from zero, you start from 54%. And you may make progress up to 82%. Or you can get to bad company and you may go from 54% back to 22%. So you go like this, forward, backward for a few births. But when you come there to 90% of perfection, still you did not pass the exam. But you are not a failure. Your next birth, not a religious family, not an orthodox family. Adhava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam. You'll be born as a yogi, in the family of a great yogi. Over there, right from your childhood, you are sucked into the mainstream of devotion. And that will be your last birth. You may be fortunate, you can get 100% in this life, and you may get salvation in Bhakti Yoga in this life, or it may take a couple of lives, but one day you will get moksham. There is no guarantee that one day will be in this life, or it can be after 3 or 4 lives or 10 lives. Sharanagati, etaddehavasane mam tatpadam prapaya swayam. At the end of this life itself, you are guaranteed, 100%, not 100, 400%. Sita Devi guaranteed it when she gave Sharanagati to Trijata and her associates in Valmiki Ramayana. Lord Ramachandra guaranteed it 100% when he gave Sharanagati to Vibhishana, Sugriva, etc. And Lord Krishna promised it in Bhagavad Gita. If you can renounce all dharmas to attain salvation and surrender to me only, your moksha is guaranteed. So in Sharanagati, you are guaranteed moksham. In Bhakti Yoga, you don't have a guarantee. In Sharanagati, the pass mark is 100%. In Bhakti Yoga, the pass mark can be 35% or 54%, 84%, but not yet. We don't know until you get moksham. You keep on trying. Got it, Amma?
Audience, one
Go
last.
ahead, Madam.
What
Yes.
was for Jadabharata, so-called not bright person, to keep seeking moksha, and how was he able to steal himself from the berating relatives, their wives, etc., not react to anything around him?
Okay, good question. Lack of time, Amma. Thanks for asking. If you really want to practice Bhakti Yoga, even though you have eyes, you have to behave like a blind fellow. Even though you have ears and you can hear, you have to behave like a deaf person. Even though you have a mouth to speak, you have to behave like a dumb fellow. They are abusing him. He behaved like a dumb fellow. He has ears. He can hear, but he behaved as though he did not hear. He is deaf. He can talk back. He did not. He behaved as though dumb person. Why? He feels by doing this, who knows, I may get attached to something. I may get attached to something. I don't want to get any attachment to anything. So how you want to be away from all these things? You also practice like a deaf, dumb, and blind person. Ignore everything. Focus on what you have to do. Got it, Amma?
Do we have time? We should.
Just one more question. I have 3 more minutes to go upstairs for starting the Prabandham.
How to practice Sharanagati? Is surrendering everything to Krishna leads to Sharanagati?
No. Surrendering everything is not by yourself. You need an acharya. First thing, say, Sharanagati involves 3 steps. First thing, you have to make up your mind. I want salvation. Second thing, who can give me that salvation? Nitya Niratishaya Srivaikuntha Prapti. Only the Supreme Lord can give. Adi Moolam. Who is that Adi Moolam? The Supreme Lord Srimad Narayana. Rest of the Devi Devatas, Jivatmas like you and me, they are also craving for Sharanagati or Bhakti Yoga. They can give you only material benefits, but not spiritual benefit of moksha. Then, how to do that? Tad vedhe pradipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshante te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Do not download Sharanagati mantras. Do not copy it from a book. It will not work for you. Go to an acharya. Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshante te jnanam. Get that mantra as upadesham. Computer, book cannot do upadesham to you. Then, how to which acharya should I go? Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Not to the people who accept a crores of rupees and become sannyasis, or just to help their family members, diverting the money to their family members. No. Only the person who accepts out of vairagyam, not interested in money except Bhagavan's service. Jnaninaha. What is jnanam? Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapajate vasudeva sarvamiti. If that person is compromising on that Mahavishwasam of Sriman Narayana is the only Supreme Lord, and even by mistake talks about any other Devi Devata puja, he is not a jnani. If you are a jnani, you know Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Vasudeva is Sarvam. Go to that kind of a person. Get the mantropadesham. Good. Sharanagati is like a marriage. If you have to marry, you need a boy and a girl. The girl here is Privatma. The boy here is the Paramatma. But for the marriage to be solemnized, you need a priest. The Acharya is like a priest offering your Jivatma at the feet of the Supreme Lord. So, before the marriage, there is engagement. You are almost the wife, but not exactly the wife. So that Samashrayanam, their Acharya will do Shankachakra mudras on your shoulders and will give you the 4 mantras, Ashtaksharam, Dvayam, Charmashlokam, and Sri Mantram. Then you got your passport to go to Vaikuntham. Having a passport, America will not say, do arati to you and say, please Mala, come to America. Without you, America is in deep trouble. You have to apply for a visa. That Sharanagati is your visa to America, visa to Sri Vaikuntham. So an Acharya, as a priest, solemnizes the marriage between a woman and a man. The Acharya solemnizes the Sharanagati between a Jivatma and a Paramatma. The passport to Vaikuntham is your Samashrayanam. The admission to Vaikuntham is your Sharanagati. Then you are guaranteed admission. Got it, Amma?
Adiyan Swamiji. Thank you.
Clear?
Adiyan Swamiji. I think we are up to the time.
Amma, is the concept clear, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji. Very clear. I have.
So, Jnanaha Tattvadarshana. Jnani means Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapajate. Only that person is Jnani who has 100% faith in Vasudeva Sarvamiti. If that Vasudeva is not Sarvam, is not there in your dictionary, if they are recommending do that puja, this puja, or when you are in trouble, I know so many people. They talk about Sharanagati, but when they are in trouble, I have seen with my own eyes calling the Tantris, Tantrikas from Kerala doing Shudrayavata pujas. You know what they do? They play some, shells, throw them, and they say this planet is there, that planet is there. You do this homam, that homam, Anyadevata pujas. That's it. They lost faith. They lost their faith. Just like Gajendra, Karadam, Krishna, you are, hey, Supreme Lord, they say you are everywhere. Are you really there? If they are really there, why they are going for Anyadevatas? So that particular person you should go, who will not compromise on one thing, Narayana and nothing other than Narayana. Then your moksha is 100% guaranteed. How can they guarantee that? Because they did that mantra japam lakhs and lakhs of times. If you, okay, simplest example, you want to get magnetized, go to a powerful magnet. If you are there within the vicinity of the magnetic field, the iron piece can get magnetized. But you are an iron piece and you go to another big iron piece thinking that it is a big iron piece. The big iron piece will start rubbing on a small iron piece. It will only produce a heat. People mistake the heat produced as magnetism. No way. Heat produced cannot be magnetism. If you become a magnet, the proof that you become a magnet is you will attract other small pieces. That is the proof you went to the right teacher. Got it? Then that Acharya will offer your Jivatma at the feet of Paramatma, and your moksha is 400% guaranteed by Sita Devi, Rama, Krishna, Varahaswamy. That's what my Acharyas told them. The great Acharyas, the great Mahatma, the 44th Jeer of Sri Bhagavatham, that's how he trained me. If you take compromise, you are dead. That's it. You will not get moksha. Still not clear? Because this is a wonderful topic. You should have asked this question in the very beginning itself. Very simple. Mala is very fond of laddu. She went to her mother. Her mother made nice laddu. She ate 20 laddus. What will happen? After 4 hours, she started getting a stomachache. Went to the doctor. Doctor said, take these 4 tablets and a cup of water. Drink it. You will just vomit out at least 50% and you'll be free. If Mala really loves laddu, you know what she should tell the doctor? Hello, my dear doctor, you don't know how much I love laddu. If I have space in my stomach for 4 tablets and a cup of water, I would have eaten the 21st laddu also. That is Mahavishwasam. Do you have that kind of faith? If anybody doesn't have that kind of a faith, sorry, no moksha. You understand, Mala?
Adiyan Swamiji.
Narayana, ma. Sorry, ma, I had to go, ma. From next week onwards, ma, you choose, ma. You can choose the time because I'm free. Because Ajahyanasam will be done.
Sure. Adiyan Swamiji. Thank you.
Narayana, ma. Sorry to rush.
Thank you very much, Swamiji.
Sivanayana Swamiji.
Thank you, Narayana Swamiji.
Narayana Swamiji.
Narayana.
Jai Srimad Narayana.